It hurts. A loss is a loss, but we're moving on. We're focusing on the Rose Bowl, preparing for Utah.
And how much do you view this game, because Utah is a physical team, as a way to kind of show they're not that team that we showed in Anaheim?
It's a huge opportunity for us. Like you said, they play physical. They're a great team, so we're excited for the challenge.
You led the team by a wide margin in tackles this year. I guess season's still going. You are leading the team by a wide margin in tackles. Speak about that a little bit. It's very rare you see at Ohio State or any big program a guy lead the team by 41 tackles over the next guy. You just have a knack for getting to the ball. How do you explain that, Ronnie?
I guess that's it right there. Any chance I get to make a tackle, do something productive for the defense, it's huge. I'm glad I was able to, contribute in that way for the team.
I would think that's a nice mantle to have as a defensive player, the team leader in tackles. Like, what's your thoughts about that?
I think it's great. Like I said, any chance you get to contribute to the team and their success, especially on the defensive side, is huge. So I was just glad I was able to do that.
Hey, Ronnie, what's the motivation? Obviously, you guys want to play in the playoff, but it's the Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What's the motivation with you guys to play this game and win it, I guess?
We have a great challenge for us. Like I said, Utah's a great team. We're playing in a very prestigious and a great Rose Bowl bowl game that we're playing in. So, we're super excited for it. We can't wait to get out there.
You guys have a chip on your shoulder, maybe a little angry. There's been a lot of things that have been said about this club, and you get a chance to maybe go silence the critics.
Like I said, man, we're excited to play, man. That's pretty much it.
What do you feel like you guys need to get cleaned up? I'm sure it's not just one thing. Is there a couple different things you feel like you guys can just tighten up with defensively?
Yeah, for sure. We looked at the film, we discussed those things. I'm pretty confident in ourselves and our coaching staff that we're going to fix those things for the upcoming games.
What are some of those things?
It varies. I don't want to get too much into detail, but it varies. We've discussed those things.
How good is this how good is this team you're going to face in Utah? They beat Oregon twice.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon, of course, beat you guys. What do you see out of Utah?
A great, fast, physical team. Those guys, are good at what they do, and they do what they do well. So, it's a great challenge for us. We're excited for it.
Ronnie, one of the critiques from that Michigan game, obviously, even their offensive coordinator said it after the game, is they thought they were a more physical team than you all were. I know that's a take.
Mm-hmm.
What do you all take from that? Obviously, it's challenging, but I'm wondering how that applies to the football field. How you then take that and try to make sure that you live up to the standard you're trying to live up to.
It's always, the better team doesn't always win. It's the team who plays the best on that day. They had the better hand on that day. So, we just have to go back to the drawing board, fix what we need to fix, correct our mistakes, and, get ready for the next games.
Do you, as a group, find yourselves confident in that element of your defense, in the physical nature of it? Do you have confidence in it?
Most definitely. The guys on the defensive side, we pride ourselves on that. They just got the best of us on that day. But, it's definitely something that's not going to slow us down or hinder us in the future.
What was your first reaction to hearing that you guys are going to hire Jim Knowles to be next year's defensive coordinator, and how much have you looked into kind of Oklahoma State film to kind of see how he operates things on defense?
We looked at it. He looks really good on paper. Their defense was really good last year and on third downs and stuff like that. So, we're excited and we're looking forward to meeting him and seeing what he can do here.
Watching film, do you sense, or are you preparing for an off-season filled with, transition in terms of scheme, or is it kind of, expect to be similar to what you guys ran this year?
Honestly, I don't really know. I'm not really sure, what his main goals will be. We're just excited and looking forward to, seeing him when he gets here and see what he's going to do.
Yeah, you said you're looking forward to. Oh, go ahead.
What about for you, personally? What do you want to work on, kind of tweak, over the course of this off-season to prepare for next year?
There's a lot of things. Just getting just my knowledge of the game. This year I got to get a lot more experience under my belt. Seeing things different on the field. So just now having that under my belt and knowing what it's like out there playing, 4 quarters in the big games and stuff like that will definitely help me prepare for next year.
I'm sorry. How does your training differ in terms of knowing that you're coming in as a prominent defender like you were this year, coming off that, knowing you're going to get that again next year? Does that change your preparation a little bit?
Kind of in a way. We always train hard, and stuff like that. But just knowing what's going to happen out there and knowing what it's like can definitely help. Just looking at what stuff that you're going to see that you've seen in the past year, just stuff like that.
Does it help to have film of yourself?
Most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
You mentioned that you're looking forward to meeting Coach Knowles. Have you even had a Zoom talk with him or anything? Have you talked to him at all yet?
No, we haven't, not yet, but I'm sure we will in the future.
I hear he's a pretty interesting personality. I've heard him compared to like Phil Jackson with the Zen and like kind of the yoga. He does like games with his players, like he'll do like game show stuff, game show type stuff. He seems like a really interesting guy, personality.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any knowledge on the guy, but I'm excited, and I've heard things like that as well. So we're looking forward to seeing him.
Ronnie, when you talked about the production from this year and then having that experience to build on in the summer before this season, I don't think any of us were really talking about you doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Did any of it come as a surprise to you, like it did to maybe me?
Well, I've always, stayed true to myself, and I've always had faith in myself that I knew that once I got the opportunity, I just had to make the most of it. And, luckily, things played out how they did. I was able to have a pretty good season. So.
When did you sense that might actually be the reality, not just that you thought you could, but that it was happening?
I'll probably say after the Minnesota game. I didn't even realize that I had, I think I finished for like 11 tackles or something like that. So once that kind of set in, I was like, all right, let's go. We can do this.
Is there a guy in the room right now you're like, yeah, you're going to be what I was like this year, next year?
I'm excited to see the new DBs coming in. I think Jordan Hancock has been playing really good, towards, now. I'm excited to see what he does next year.
How important is, these practices, these full practices to the development of these young guys?
It's huge. We kind of take a step back from, the game week practices and stuff like that and kind of just focus on the fundamentals and the basics and stuff like that. So just being able to hone in on those skills, before we get to, the Utah prep week for that is really good for us.
Ronnie, what's it like? You guys had kind of a coaching adjustment on the defensive side in the middle of this year, and now you have a new defensive coordinator coming in next year. What's it like for players when you have coaching adjustments on your side of the ball?
It's a business. There's going to be changes. You have to adapt. And if you don't adapt, you can get left behind. So it happens. It's a part of the college football business and at the next level. We trust our coaches that they're going to put the best coach in front of us to lead us to victories. So, we're looking forward to it.
I know you said, you're focused on this game. Would you imagine that the position you play, your responsibilities on a snap will be similar next year? Or do you think, maybe they'll use me in a kind of
I'd assume, but honestly, I don't know. That's all stuff for next year.
Now that you're a few months into name, image, and likeness, is it what you thought it would be? What are your thoughts on it? Do you like it? I'm sure as a player you like it. Just what are your thoughts on name, image, and likeness?
I think it's great. For a long time, people have been able to benefit off us, and we haven't been able, to get anything in return. So it's good to see some guys making those right moves for themselves. Being able to put money in their pockets, and it's hard being a college student sometimes. So I like it. And I think people are taking advantage of it in the right ways. Although some people, it can go in the wrong way, but I think for the most part, it's been pretty good.
Is it kind of what you thought it would be, or is it different?
No, it's pretty much what I thought it would be. Yeah.
Ronnie, when you guys win so often, and very seldom do you have a situation where you lose a game and then you don't get to play again for a while. Does the mood feel different around here? Like, is it?
I would say, when we came back from that loss, it was kind of tough. Obviously, it was tough for us. But like I said, we moved on. We're focusing on the Rose Bowl now and preparing for Utah.
And do you want, this is always the thing anytime. You guys lose so rarely. It's like every time you lose, everyone's like, oh my God, you lost.
Yeah.
You want to be motivated by it, but you don't want to be stuck in it, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, what do you think is the right balance with a loss like that?
Well, it happens in college football. It doesn't happen often for us, but you have to learn from it. You get back to the drawing board and try to fix those things that you messed up on for the future.